Mia's sitting on her couch at 11 p.m., scrolling through Netflix. 10,000 options, new releases everywhere, trending series with perfect ratings. But her thumb keeps moving, past everything new, until she lands on The Office. Again, Season 3, Episode 12. The one she's seen 17 times. Her roommate walks by and says, "Seriously? Again?" Mia just shrugs and presses play. She knows every line, every joke, every awkward pause. And somehow, that's exactly what she needs tonight. Sound familiar? If you're someone who rewatches the same shows and movies on loop while the algorithm screams at you to try something new, you're not alone. And no, it's not laziness, it's psychology. Let me explain what's really happening in your brain. Here's the thing. We live in a world obsessed with novelty. New content every single day. The culture tells you that if you're not exploring, you're stagnating. But your brain doesn't care about trends. It cares about survival. And right now, your nervous system is treating modern life like a threat. Think about it. You wake up to bad news. You go to work where everything's uncertain. Your relationships are complicated. Your future feels unpredictable. Your brain is in a constant state of low-level stress. And when you finally sit down at night, the last thing it wants is more uncertainty. It doesn't want to learn new characters. It doesn't want plot twists. It wants something it can predict, something it can control. Psychologists call this predictability bias. When your external world feels chaotic, your brain seeks internal safety, and rewatching is one of the easiest ways to create that. You know how the episode ends. You know the character survives. You know the joke is coming. That certainty isn't boring, it's soothing. It's your nervous system finally exhaling. But there's another layer. Maybe you're not just seeking comfort. Maybe you're mentally exhausted. Your job demands constant problem solving. Meetings, emails, decisions. By the time you get home, your cognitive battery is at 2%, and watching something new, that requires energy. You have to track new plot lines, remember new names, pay attention to details. Your brain just doesn't have the bandwidth. So instead, you put on the same show you've seen a dozen times. And this time, you're not even watching. It's just on. Background noise, a familiar rhythm. Your brain goes into autopilot mode, and for the first time all day, it gets to rest. Psychologists call this cognitive load reduction. You're not avoiding growth. You're protecting your mental health. And that's not weakness. That's self-preservation. Now, here's where it gets emotional. For some people, rewatching isn't about the show at all. It's about the memory attached to it. Maybe you watched Friends with your college roommates. Maybe you watched Harry Potter with your dad before he passed. Maybe that show reminds you of a time when life felt easier, when you felt safer, when you were happier. Every time you press play, you're not watching the story, you're visiting the past. Psychologists call this emotional time travel. The show becomes a portal, not to the plot, but to the version of yourself you miss. And even though everything in your life has changed, the show hasn't. It's frozen in time, waiting for you. That's why you cry during episodes you've seen 10 times. It's not the scene, it's the feeling, the memory of who you were when you first watched it. Letting go of the show feels like letting go of that version of yourself, so you keep coming back, not because you forgot what happens, but because you don't want to forget what it felt like. So here's the truth. If you're someone who rewatches, you're not stuck, you're not lazy, you're not boring. You're doing what your nervous system needs. You're choosing comfort over stimulation, rest over novelty, memory over distraction. And in a world that never stops moving, that's not a weakness, that's wisdom. Maybe the people who rewatch aren't stuck in the past. Maybe they've just figured out what actually makes them feel safe. So the next time someone judges you for watching the same thing again, just smile, because you know something they don't. Sometimes the best thing isn't new, it's familiar.